Welcome back to Selling on Giants. It is March 3rd, 2026. This is one of those weeks where nothing feels explosive on the surface, but underneath, the structural tightening is real. Capital is tightening. Ad discipline is tightening. Data standards are tightening. Retail execution is tightening. And if you are operating a brand inside Amazon, Walmart, or broader e-commerce, you can feel it. Let's start with the one that has sellers loud right now, DD+7. Because this is not noise, this is math. Under DD+7, funds are released 7 days after confirmed delivery. The reserve clock starts at delivery confirmation, not shipment. Disperse on demand is system-enabled, not guaranteed. There is no manual override if your account does not have it. And this is being standardized. Now here is what sellers are correctly reacting to. This increases the cost of doing business. If you are a brand, you front inventory, you fund ads, you pay payroll, you pay freight, you fund production cycles, you float working capital before Amazon ever pays you. When payout timing extends, your cash conversion cycle extends. And the cash conversion cycle is not some MBA classroom concept, it is oxygen. Here is where operators need to slow down and think. It is not 7 days in isolation. It is 7 days layered on top of carrier performance variability, warehouse receiving lag, and the reality that delivery confirmation is not always instant. If you are FBM heavy and your carrier scans late, that clock does not start when you think it does. If you are FBA heavy but receiving delays stretch, velocity and cash timing disconnect. Now layer in inventory lead times. If you are importing, you have capital tied up in production, then freight, then prep, then inbound, then receiving, then ads, then sale, then delivery, then plus 7 days. Every extension increases reliance on retained earnings or debt. If your line of credit is 8 to 10%, that float becomes real expense. For scaling brands, that compounds quickly. This is not about 1 week. It is about velocity under leverage. Now let's clean up the emotional framing. Amazon is not increasing referral fees. Commission structure remains intact. Customers do not see this policy. This is not a hidden surcharge. This is a liquidity shift. Amazon is optimizing for platform risk insulation and float stability. Brands are optimizing for growth and inventory velocity. Those incentives are not perfectly aligned. And this is part of a larger pattern. More automation, more standardization, fewer manual overrides, less case-by-case flexibility. Amazon is behaving like a scaled infrastructure platform, not a boutique retail partner. So what do? You model your cash cycle under delivery +7. You stress test what happens if carrier confirmation lags 2 days. You look at your peak periods and ask, can we fund aggressive ads while reordering inventory without choking cash? You review your line of credit capacity before you need it. You tighten FBM delivery discipline if you are exposed there. Because here is the second order effect most people miss. If capital tightens, brands pull back on ads. If ads pull back, rank softens. If rank softens, velocity slows. Customers do not know what DD+7 is, but they absolutely feel out of stocks and price increases. DD+7 does not kill strong brands. It exposes weak capital structure. Now, speaking of exposure, let's talk about ads. Because the second loud theme in the forums right now is Amazon ads are broken. They are not broken. They are unmanaged. And there is a difference. If you are running sponsored products and you cannot answer what your break-even ACOS is without hesitation, you are guessing. Break-even ACOS is not optional. It is contribution margin math. After cost of goods, freight, FBA fees, referral fees, returns, and promo impact, what percentage of ad spend can you tolerate before you erode profit? If bids are not tied to that number, you are optimizing in the dark. Now here's the metric most teams ignore: revenue per click. If your conversion rate is 10% and your average order value is $40, your revenue per click is $4. That number determines what you can afford to pay per click, not suggested bid, not competitor aggression. Math. Target cost per click equals revenue per click multiplied by target ACOs. That is it. And if no one is calculating that weekly, the account is drifting. Now let's talk structure. If you have one campaign with 50 products and 200 keywords in a single ad group, that is not scalable. That is hiding data from yourself. Healthy structure separates brand from non-brand, competitor from generic, discovery from scale. Exact match should carry the majority of mature spend. Auto should not be a forever crutch. It should be a harvesting tool. And budgets. This is the silent killer. Campaign running at 22% ACOS, target is 30, budget caps at noon. That is not optimization. That is throttled growth. Maintenance means suffocate, waste, and scale winners. And here's another diagnostic principle. ACOS equals cost per click divided by conversion rate times average order value. If ACOS rises, only 3 levers moved. CPC increased, conversion rate dropped, or average order value dropped. If your team cannot tell you which lever shifted, they are reacting, not maintaining. Most complaints about Amazon wins, sellers lose, trace back to no margin math, no RPC discipline, no search term hygiene, and budget caps on winners. Brands do not need more ad spend. They need disciplined ad spend. And this is actually where a lot of brands get stuck. Finance is looking at tacos. Marketing is looking at ROAS. Operations is looking at in-stock. Founders are looking at top-line growth. No one is looking at the machine as a single system. That is the work. At Bellavix, we have helped brands sell over $500 million on Amazon. We are a verified ad partner, and what we focus on is turning marketplace complexity into a clear operating plan. Cash cycle, inventory velocity, media efficiency, contribution margin. One model. If your growth is creating internal friction instead of clarity, that is the signal. Bellavix.com. Now let's zoom out. Because while Amazon tightens capital timing and sellers debate ACOS, Meta is building retail media tools to compete directly for commerce budgets. This is not branding. This is budget warfare. Retail media has become one of the fastest growing profit engines inside Amazon and Walmart. Meta wants a share of that performance allocation. They are pushing deeper retailer data integrations, stronger closed loop measurement, better attribution around product level sales. The goal is clear. Position Meta as a retail media alternative, not just a top of funnel awareness channel. For brands, this creates tension and opportunity. If Meta can prove incremental lift tied to retail sales, budget diversification accelerates. If it cannot, spend remains anchored inside marketplace ecosystems. But the broader theme is attribution pressure. Ad dollars are moving toward platforms that can prove sales impact, not impressions. And this connects directly to AI shopping behavior. Consumers are increasingly using AI tools upstream to research, compare, and summarize products before landing on Amazon. This is not novelty. This is behavior shift. AI tools compress information. They filter comparison sets. They summarize value propositions. If your listing does not clearly communicate who it is for, what problem it solves, and how it differentiates within the first few seconds of interpretation, you may not even make it into the comparison set. That changes top of funnel competition. And no, you do not need special markdown pages for AI bots. Clean, structured HTML, clear headings, benefit-driven copy, accurate schema. Structure beats hacks. Which brings us to Google's Universal Commerce Protocol. This is infrastructure. Google is signaling that standardized, machine-readable commerce data is becoming mandatory, not optional. Product attributes, pricing, availability, merchant consistency, structured differentiation. If your feeds are messy, incomplete, or inconsistent, visibility compresses. We are moving from keyword optimization to data architecture optimization. AI search layers assemble commerce answers from structured inputs. If your data integrity is weak, you get excluded from the summary. This affects DTC, it affects marketplace brands, it affects omni-channel. Because even if Amazon owns the PDP, Google still indexes and interprets product data across the web. If your feed breaks, visibility breaks. Commerce is becoming a data discipline race. Now zoom out again. Tariff refund litigation is being delayed. Potential refunds remain in limbo. If you modeled near-term tariff relief into your operating plan, that cash is not coming quickly. Between DD+7 and delayed tariff refunds, working capital is under pressure. Retailers are also tightening. Macy's is leaning into event-driven demand, building a year-long celebration calendar to drive traffic around cultural moments. That is calendar discipline. Walmart is scaling smart shelf technology, improving real-time in-store inventory accuracy and price updates. That is execution tightening. NRF is signaling innovation must be smarter, not broader. McKinsey's grocery report in MENA highlights a paradox. Consumer confidence is rising, willingness to spend on premium is rising, yet formal grocery growth is lagging. That sounds contradictory until you understand the structural shift. Growth is no longer about opening more stores. It is about format relevance. It is about matching assortment and experience to shopper mission. Premium demand exists, but consumers are selective. Retailers are less tolerant of speculative shelf space. They want velocity. For brands, that means validate demand before launch, pressure test margin under promo conditions, model ad support cost, retire underperformers quickly. Innovation without velocity is inventory risk. Now connect all of this. Capital discipline tightening, ad math tightening, retail execution tightening, data standards tightening, AI compressing competition. This is not a volatility cycle. It is a precision cycle. The platforms are automating. Measurement is accelerating. Tolerance for sloppiness is shrinking. Weak structure gets exposed faster. Strong operators adjust faster. This is not the season to panic. It is the season to model. Model cash. Model margin. Model attribution. Model inventory velocity. Because tightening cycles remove undisciplined competition. And disciplined operators gain share quietly. Appreciate you being here. If this breakdown sharpens how you think about your marketplace strategy, follow, subscribe, leave a review wherever you are tuning in. We will be back next week breaking down what the platforms are actually doing and what serious operators need to do about it. This is Mr. Will signing off from Selling on Giants. Stay disciplined, stay precise, and I will see you next week.